Right now at 10, prosecutors file murder charges against a Seneca, Missouri woman. Plus, how flight cancellations are impacting four-state travelers. And many of us are set to partake in some holiday treats, but if you want to keep the potential weight gain, keep it off rather, we've got a few tips.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
A 62-year-old Seneca, Missouri woman is behind bars tonight accused of shooting and killing a man. This is the KOAM News at 10. Police say yesterday Suzette Anderson killed David Wesley Stotts and tried to stage the crime to look like self-defense. A probable cause statement says a witness told police that Anderson said the victim, Stotts, tried to attack her. The witness says Anderson then told him to stage the incident by putting a rock, a stick, and then a metal rod in the victim's hand. Anderson is charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. It's still fairly mild given how late it is this Christmas Eve, Nick.
It's all because of that good south wind, Chris. It certainly did wonders for us today. So even with the cloud cover that passed on through, we may look quiet still from 7th and Range Line, but look at these numbers. Officially for this Christmas Eve 2021, we started at 58, warmer than our average high of 46, and topping out at 75. Keep in mind, the record high of 73, we broke that. That was set back in 1955, but today was the new record. And again, that is despite all of the cloud cover that rotated on through. But the latest batch of clouds rolling in now is trying to produce maybe a few sprinkles or very few quick light showers. Not a big deal as a front works over the Kansas Turnpike and passes through the region as we go through the overnight. Won't be a problem for Santa, though, as he continues to work toward our area, certainly as we go into the overnight hours. But as far as the morning temperatures go, we'll be in the 40s on the Kansas side, around 56 in Joplin. Quick look at the day tomorrow shows partly sunny skies to start, but then more cloud cover by the afternoon, but still mild. Highs near 64. We'll see how the final days of 2021 look here in a bit, Chris.
All right, Nick, thank you. Airlines have canceled hundreds of flights this Christmas Eve, leading to stress and panic from travelers. Delta and United Airlines have blamed some cancellations on rising COVID-19 infections. Locally at the Joplin Regional Airport, which flies United out of major hubs like Chicago and Houston, no cancellations have been reported, but the news did worry some travelers.
Well, for United, I think they're canceling 200 flights, so we were worried about it, but come in morning and there's no news or updates about our flight's cancellation, then we're all set.
Now, globally, airlines have canceled over 2,000 flights this Christmas Eve. As we approach our second COVID Christmas, many are wrestling once again over whether it's safe to gather with family and loved ones. We take a look at some precautions you can take during this Omicron surge, including testing after you've returned back home. Natalie Brand's got the details from Washington.
From coast to coast, the hot holiday item this year, a COVID test, especially if you're among the millions of Americans traveling this Christmas weekend.
I think if they've been tested before they've gotten on the plane, then I think you're in really pretty good shape, because in the unlikely event that they picked up something during their travel, the test won't be positive yet. It takes a couple of 3 days for that test to become positive.
Dr. William Schaffner of Vanderbilt University Medical Center says if you have the supplies and are worried about exposure risk, go ahead and test twice a week. But with supplies scarce, what do you do if you don't have a test?
Let's ask who's gathering together. Are the grandparents healthy, or do they have underlying illnesses? Is Aunt Susie going to be there with her diabetes? In which case, let's all gather together, wear the mask, keep social distancing, except during the time when we're eating.
If you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of these at-home rapid tests, the experts say make sure you are following the instructions to the letter.
If any of those variables aren't exactly right, the test can be much less accurate.
Dr. Emily Volk of the College of American Pathologists also says the PCR lab run test is still the gold standard if you're able to find a clinic near you. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The federal government is expanding its testing locations with the newest site opening in New York this week. It's also launching a website in January where Americans can log on and get home tests delivered to their door for free. Carnival Cruises says a small number of people on board one of its ships have tested positive for COVID-19. Those who contracted the virus on the Carnival Freedom are in isolation. Carnival says the ship is docking at Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic on Friday after being denied entry into Bonaire and Aruba. Cruise Line says it is working with local health authorities at the destinations they visit. All guests were tested before the ship departed Miami on December 18th. It's expected to return December 26th. Healthcare workers with COVID-19 no longer need to isolate for 10 days. U.S. Centers for Disease Control has updated its quarantine guidance for healthcare workers ahead of an anticipated increase in Omicron cases. The CDC now says healthcare workers who are fully vaccinated, including a booster, do not need to quarantine after high-risk exposures. Also, healthcare workers with COVID-19 who are asymptomatic can return to work after 7 days with a negative test. That isolation time can be cut even further if there are staffing shortages. The agency hopes the new guidelines will limit the effects of healthcare staffing shortages that have been caused by COVID-19. Well, prices seem particularly high. You're right. In fact, inflation is hitting the highest level in 39 years. Thursday, the Bureau of Economic Analysis reported that U.S. inflation rose 5.7% in the 12 months ending in November. That's the fastest increase in consumer spending price index since July of 1982. American incomes also rose last month by 0.4%, slightly less than October. Most of the increase was higher spending on services like housing and utilities. Consumer spending also rose 0.6% or $104 billion heading into the holidays. The prices may be high, but according to the data, it may be peaking. Plus, it shows Americans remain optimistic about the economy and the path to recovery in 2022. Food and retail workers are burned out after nearly 2 years of dealing with the pandemic. The United Food and Commercial Workers Union says more than 50,000 retail and grocery workers have been infected or exposed to coronavirus, and at least 213 have died. And now there's the rising threat from the Omicron variant. The union sent a letter to 63 retail chains calling on them to step up their safety policies. They want companies to once again promote masks for customers and distribute personal protective equipment to workers. Union is also asking stores to reestablish social distancing measures and offer paid sick leave benefits. Some companies, including Walmart and Amazon, are requiring workers to wear masks again, but they haven't updated their customer policies. All these factors are contributing to the labor shortage in the service industry. Still ahead, last-minute shoppers are out in full force tonight, and earlier today, many got the chance to pick up some handmade gifts. And holiday foods and candies are great, but if you want to avoid having a belly that looks like a bowl full of jelly, then we've got some 5 tips for you. Well, Joplin Empire Market today was the destination for some last-minute shopping at its holiday market. They call it the Tensel and Tidings Christmas Eve Market. 20 or so vendors were on hand with their wares for the wary shoppers looking to fill some stockings before Christmas morning. Of course, there was lots of food and music, too.
It's been wonderful to meet all of the vendors here. Everyone's really supportive and really excited for each other. Everyone's real respectful of, what you have, and so it's just really neat to be around other makers and creatives that, just have amazing, unique ideas and things that they can do.
Gift wrapping was also available. To the northeast, the Webb City Farmers Market was hosting its own Christmas Eve market. Like the Empire Market, there were around 20 vendors on hand. We caught up with one of them who tells us what it means to be a part of the market and last-minute shopping for 4-staters.
These things you won't find in the stores. You're not going to find this in big box stores. Some of these things you might not even find in small boutiques. These are things that are unique to the farmers market. So being here and being part of that is outstanding.
Now this market featured music too because, what holiday shopping experience would be complete without holiday tunes? Well, holiday season is in full swing, and that means temptations are everywhere, not just the music group, in the form of good food and drinks, making it easy to pack on the pounds this winter. In today's Health Minute, Jen Sullivan has 5 things that you can do to avoid the dreaded weight gain.
Sugary treats, boozy drinks, and all those calorie-dense dishes. Holiday meals make it easy to pack on extra pounds this time of year.
To avoid the vicious cycle of weight gain during the holidays, I encourage you to focus on things that you can add in to your diet and to your lifestyle rather than things that you need to take out.
Health and fitness expert Stephanie Mansour says these 5 tips can help you stay trim without missing out on the festive fun. Number 1, power up with protein. That way you won't be starving at the dinner table and will be less likely to reach for sugary and carb-loaded items.
Even a little bit of Greek yogurt or a couple hard-boiled eggs, a protein shake, anything that you can have with protein to power up before you sit down for your holiday meal is going to help you avoid overeating.
Number 2, stay hydrated. She recommends drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water. That way you don't confuse thirst for hunger. Number 3, unwind with hot tea.
When something's warm to sip on, you really have to slow things down and enjoy them and be conscious of what you're consuming rather than throwing back one last cocktail.
Number 4, manage the alcohol. Have 1 glass of water before and after every drink. And finally, don't deprive yourself. Don't avoid sugary treats completely. Instead, eat them in moderation.
Always have at least 1 or 2 tastes of your favorites and then move on.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Later, the President and First Lady brought some holiday cheer to children in a D.C. hospital.
But first, we are looking at yet another mild Christmas day ahead of us, but we'll check the rest of 2021 when we come back. Even though we stayed quiet for this Christmas Eve of 2021, we had quite a few things to track, not just the record-breaking warmth, not only the wind that was screaming out of the southward today, but Santa Claus himself. In fact, he was last spotted over parts of the mid-Atlantic not too long ago. Here he was during the last hour working over the state of Virginia. I'm still thinking around here, kids, he's got about like 10:30 until about midnight or 12:30 before he makes the rounds here. But if you're still awake by that time, Santa might miss the house, but once you fall asleep, he'll come back and make his delivery. So keep that in mind. You got to be sure you get some sleep so you can enjoy your Christmas day ahead of us. As far as temperatures go, we just shattered the record high of 73 today, set back in 1955. After we sat near 60 yesterday afternoon, we went into the mid to upper 50s this morning. 75, that's the official number at Joplin Regional for today and our brand spanking new record high for this Christmas Eve around here. And not only that, we'll add it as another above normal day by a good measure for this December of 2021. So 19 days this month above normal with only 5 resembling some sort of normalcy. So we'll have up and down temperatures to try and balance things out as we wrap up the month, but at least we're looking quiet outside from 7th and Range Line. In fact, temperatures have been struggling a bit to cool down. We're still seeing temperatures across the region in the mid 60s to about 70, 71 degrees. Again, it's all because of this good southwest wind in place. Sustained earlier today at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusts pushing near 38 miles per hour. And that breeze is still out there. But as a quick front rolls on through, we are going to see that breeze lighten up as we go into tomorrow. In the short term, though, the front's actually trying to produce a few random sprinkles or a few quick light little showers in parts of southeast Kansas. That area of rain, mainly aloft, is rotating through. Again, that's because of a cold front at the surface, hopping over the turnpike and passing through, and an upper low coming out of Colorado. Both those in play, trying to give a few of us late tonight a few sprinkles or maybe a quick shower. But you can see how that activity is out of here as we get into Christmas morning. Maybe a little bit of clearing for some of you as well. And with a westerly wind about ready to kick in behind the front, we are going to see temperatures turn a bit chilly. You can see how some in southeast Kansas drop back into the 40s for Christmas morning. I think Joplin, quite a bit warmer than that. We'll go 56 for your Saturday morning, your Christmas morning. 60 by noon, still a mild day, even though we're going to be quite a bit cooler. We'll have highs around 64 in the Joplin metro and everybody in the lower to middle 60s tomorrow. Now, as we go into Sunday, it looks quiet to start, but another quick system could give us some scattered showers, mainly Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. We're dry Monday. Then we've got another system with a good shot for rain and even thunderstorms as we work into Tuesday and Wednesday. 64 on your Saturday, your Christmas Day. 70 Sunday, 59 Monday, 67 on Tuesday. Then we've got some mid-40s Wednesday and Thursday, Chris. And sticking with Doug's pattern, once we get into the new year, I want to watch Saturday. That could start as rain, chances of highs near 50 on New Year's Day. But as temperatures drop, there's a chance that system could end as snow Saturday night and maybe early Sunday morning.
Well, it's a good thing, though, that if that does happen, it's happening New Year's Day night, not New Year's Eve. Hopefully most people will be home resting on Saturday instead of out driving.
Yeah, hopefully it will give us a good chance to finally give us some snow to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be good. Nick, thank you so much. Well, the Our Place food truck hosted a Christmas Eve cookout at Joplin Day. The goal was to make sure that people were fed heading into Christmas Day when many places are closed. From 11 to 3 today, people could come by for a free meal, and those wanting to support the mission were invited to pay it forward by dropping off a gift.
The last time I checked, the way you fix problems, really, before where we're at in society, we did it over food. I mean, we had conversations over food. We had the tough conversations over food, but food is where I believe we need to get back to and having a better relationship with that and with one another.
Organizers say they'd like to do this every day if possible. Water Gardens Ministries today made sure homeless folks in our area were treated to a meal and some much-needed fellowship. The organization hosted a Christmas Eve dinner. About 200 people showed up to eat. They were also treated with goodie bags.
I love doing it. I mean, there's some that never miss this particular event every year, and then every year we always have new people come and show up, and it's when the volunteers come, it may be something physical like moving chairs, moving tables, but then there's also just the serving of listening to someone's story, getting to know somebody.
There were around 40 volunteers that helped make today's dinner a reality. Well, the President and First Lady put the pandemic and politics aside on this Christmas Eve day, bringing some holiday cheer to children at a Washington hospital. Natalie Brand has more.
Oh, that is really cool. That's a great idea.
The first couple joined the young patients at Children's National Hospital, admiring their holiday crafts, including the work of a boy named Bo.
We have a son named Bo. We have a grandson named Bo.
The Washington Hospital offers pediatric acute care, and those who couldn't join in person participated on Zoom.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you. Merry Christmas.
The President and First Lady read a Christmas story.
It was the night before Christmas.
And chatted with the children about their dreams for the future.
How many of you want to be a doctor?
Gloria does.
How many of you want to be a nurse?
From the hospital, a surprise stop on the way home. The first couple posing for pictures by a Christmas tree where the president shared his holiday message for Americans.
Keep the faith.
Back at the White House, a quick chat with Santa's trackers.
So far, Santa's really moving, man. That sleigh taking over 75,000 gumdrops. That's how heavy it is.
The Biden family will spend Christmas at the White House, along with their newest bundle of joy, first puppy Commander, who showed off his ball handling skills on the South Lawn. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up in sports, Chiefs put their 7-game win streak on the line this Sunday against the Steelers. We'll hear from quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Plus, former Joplin standout Zach Westmoreland finished his first season at Eastern Michigan. Danny Terzer's got the details next.
Joplin alum Zach Westmoreland finished up his first college football season at Eastern Michigan. He's a former standout wide receiver for Joplin, a 3-time All-State performer. Westmoreland originally signed to NEO but never played a game due to COVID. He then made the jump to Division I Eastern Michigan and finally played his first season this past fall. In 12 games for the Eagles, he finished with 293 receiving yards. His best game came against UMass in September. In that one, he racked up 97 yards and his first college touchdown. Westmoreland continues to aim big.
For my first season being back and after taking so many days off, I feel like it was pretty decent. I'm definitely excited to get back and get to work and just start making more progress and hopefully putting up even better numbers and getting more wins than before. Obviously getting all my lifts up, getting my speed up, ball skills, releases, everything in general. I'd really like to go back to another bowl game. I'd like to win a MAC championship. I'd like to win a bowl game. I'd like to be all conference, and a lot of high goals.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs haven't lost a game since October. The Chiefs are winners of 7 straight, including an overtime win against their division opponent, the Chargers, last Thursday. This week, the Chiefs are on a good bit of rest hosting the Steelers. But the downside is that the Chiefs are dealing with a handful of players on the COVID list. That includes Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, both of whom were added earlier this week. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes trusts his team's depth, including Josh Gordon, who will possibly be stepping into a bigger role this week.
He's been able to go out there and produce at a high level in this league. And so he still has the talent. He still has the work ethic. And now it's about just going out there and getting more opportunities. And so hopefully we were able to get Travis and Tyreek back. But if not, we have other guys that will step up and kind of take on those roles and in part, receiver there, running backs, tight ends. And we'll find a way to try to make up for that production that we're missing.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
We take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Staff Sergeant Jesse Carpenter served in the Air Force during World War II, flying 30 missions over Europe, his hometown, Joplin. And we're proud to recognize Staff Sergeant Jesse Carpenter, tonight's 4-state hero. Talk about a mild day, a mild Christmas. It's like you said earlier, it's like Christmas in Hawaii.
Yeah, like we still can't get over 75 today. Saturday record of 73. 75. It's still going to be mild tomorrow, but we'll trend downwards, so that's a step in the right direction at the very least. We'll keep things dry for Christmas Day. Lows around Joplin in the mid-50s. We'll go 64 tomorrow. We'll watch for some rain chances Sunday afternoon and evening with highs back near 70. And then we got dry Monday with highs in the 50s. And then for the final Tuesday and Wednesday of 2021, how about some rain and thunderstorm chances?
I'll take it. I mean, I do like the thunderstorms. I mean, nothing severe, but I do like some thunder. I don't like the cold, but it does need to start feeling like winter. So
that's a good thing you said that. Again, if anyone missed it and the weather hit, I'm still watching a system by New Year's Day. If it's Doug's pattern, that could start as rain and end as snow. If anyone missed that part of the forecast, I'll have that in the updated blog at KONNewsNow.com.
All right, Danny, quick final check in sports.
Well, it feels like a long time since the last time the Chiefs played last Thursday, but they're back in action on Sunday against the Steelers.
All right, guys, thank you so much. That is our time for now. We're going to leave you with a look at the Christmas lights at Twin Bridges. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for making us part of your night.